I'm Peggy Anne Salz. This is App Talks, and we talk with people in apps who've had great presentations or a great track record. And with Robert Vaternam, I think that it's both, because your talk is all about the topic that we want to understand, which is engaging users longer. And at Freeletics, that's a subscription app, so that is in itself really something you need to get right. And you've done that. So tell me a little bit about Freeletics, how things are going for you, because we always hear, it's a trade-off, right? Subscription apps are recurring costs, but you do have a free version as well. So what's going on with the subscription app in the wellness space?
Yeah, great question. Thanks for having me first. Thank you very much for the warm intro. I think the specific thing on apps to have long-term engagement is the reason why people joining the app. And Freeletics is a fitness app for body weight training, and high-intense training. So it's not fun, right? It's something that you do because you want to achieve a goal.
Right.
And it's another reason why you're using the app, for example, when you learn a language or something. So our engagement is connected with hard times, a lot of effort that you have to put in, time that you have to do.
But you value it because you're going to get to your goal through your app. So
exactly. So we see that when people build routines and train out more and more often, or in regular time periods, then they get more loyal. So they stay in the app when they see their first results. They stay in the app when they see that they get stronger, that they get ripped, that they get leaner. But it's a matter of time. So for us, it's really the reason to keep them in the product, keep them training over a long time to reach that step where they think, oh, it's worth it. I cannot stop right now. I put so much effort in it. Now I stay.
So you find the hook.
Yeah.
You find the hook. What does that look like in terms of the events that you have to focus on and that you're on the right track for an app like yours? Because I remember speaking with an app in a similar space, and it was like, it's not just session number or session length. You know that you have a valuable user that you need to cultivate when they, for example, share the first results. Then they're invested in your app. What's it like with yours?
I think the first important moment for us is that the user does the first session. This is the barrier that you overstep. When people register for a gym, the first visit is the hardest one, because everyone is looking at you. You are the newbie. You have no idea.
Yeah.
And with Freeletics, you can train at home. But it sounds easy. But try to roll out the mat in your living room, dress up in your sportswear, open your phone, and do a very sweaty session at home. It feels weird. So the first moment, the first training is the point where we say, now the user knows the product. Now we can explain, force him to go to the next challenge, to the next level. This is all we want to achieve.
What does some of that look like? Because I don't know if you did it before it was cool, but you do have this AI personal trainer relationship going on. So it could be that, you need to do this. Come on, girl, you've got this, or guy, you've got this, and that encouragement, all of that. How does that happen, and what does that look like? And if it's AI, it must be feeling like it's just for me, right?
Kind of. So I would say the first 2 to 3 sessions, the app and the product tries to find out your level of fitness, how much weight you can take, how long can the session be, and we ask after each kind of training period, we ask, was that hard? Was that too easy for you? Was it too long? What do you like to change?
So you can adapt to each
And we can
user.
adapt. And so you have the first 3 sessions is, I would say, a little bit more easy to have that celebration moment for the user. Oh, wow, I did my first sessions.
Yeah.
And then it just gets harder step by step. So the next time you see yourself, hey, I took 8 kilogram weights and now I should take 10. And when you make it, then it's like, oh, there is a progress. Yeah. Because 2 weeks ago, I was 2 kilogram less. So this AI, I would say, impact on the product is more that we extremely can personalize something that only a personal trainer could do in a gym, right? And you're not on your own, because we give technique explanations. How do you lift the weight right, that your back is not hurting? How do you do that exercise that it treats all your muscles that you want to train? And a lot of people struggle with going to the gym, watched 1 or 2 YouTube videos, and then they see all the others, but have no ideas how the gadgets and everything is working.
Yeah. But as head of CRM, you're also looking at the data. So you're getting an idea about how to shape this, how to make this valuable, how to keep valuable users in the app. what are some signals that maybe other marketers are missing that you're saying to yourself, if you just look at this and maybe that, you can keep users in your app longer? Because it's not just about Freeletics. It can be a lot of different types of apps, a lot of different types of verticals. They're all struggling with the same thing: keep people longer, particularly for subscription, keep them paying, keep them coming back.
Yeah, so first, thanks for the compliment. I'm just a senior CRM manager, not the head of CRM.
Okay, well, that's next year.
Next year. No, I think the question is very good that you made, because there are a lot of reasons users coming into the app. Some want to lose weight, some want to gain muscle, some want to get stronger. Mm-hmm. What we try to focus on is that community branding of saying, hey, you're not alone. There are a lot of people that want to start, change their life, become stronger, and you are now a part of this. And we support you. Okay. So we have a big community feature in the app where you can share your trainings with everyone in the app. People can connect, can follow each other. And so you have very often the situation that a new user starts a first session, but then get claps or recognitions from users that already trained for 5 years. And they say, hey, good job, you did your second session, that's amazing.
That's cool.
And this is something
People
that
need
is...
that.
Exactly, and it's very hard to get this in the gym, because in the gym you have to prove yourself for some days until the guy on the big gadget says, hey, nice to see you again.
Yeah. A lot of workout, a lot of effort. And you reward that effort in that way. So part of it is the community. So that says that if you want to focus on this, would you say that the key for you is community, or is it something else? Because again, keeping people coming back, there's a lot of things taking up their attention. We hear about that so much, that the app industry, the app space is actually fine. The problem is that we do a lot more now than we did maybe when it was the COVID bump, when we were only in apps. It was fantastic. It was a phenomenon. You couldn't make a bad app at that point, and you could not make money either. But now it's going to be tough going into 2025 also. So what is it that, in addition to community, you think marketers need to focus on, or you yourself are going to focus on going ahead?
I think what you really need to focus on is, what does the user need or expect from your product? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the user don't know this 100% on its own. It's more a feeling of, okay, I try that. And I would say the positive point that we have is, when you stop working out for 3 weeks and you come back, you see that you get worse than the session before. Okay. So you saw that all the effort that you made and every sweat and power that you intake is now 10% of that is gone, because you haven't...
show that to them. It's like, No,
you just know, hey, your next session is like 12 kilogram of the dumbbells and you cannot finish all the reps. Yeah. And then you have to tell our AI coach, hey, this was too hard for me. And the coach says, okay, I thought it's right, but you had a large break.
There you go.
This is something different to, for example, language apps, where you stop learning and then you just, you repeat the last task that you have and then you become better. But the positive thing that we have is, we can say that this was not working out for you is because of you. Because you haven't stick to your routine. Okay. We had no chance to support you keeping that level up. So try it now and pays up again on the last level that you had.
So better than actually sort of like being a needy app, like, notification, you didn't do this yet, it's more like, when you come back, it understands where you were, where you could be, where you should be, and makes it very clear that, if you value this, if this is what you want to do, then you need to be more committed to the app. What about the communications? Is it just push, or are you doing something beyond that to tell me about the new features? I need to know about what I can be doing in the app, where it can help me, goals I might set. Maybe I don't know the goal I need to set. And it needs to be assistive and helpful, and you've got AI. What is it? Is it chatbots? Is it conversational AI? What's the level of communication?
So we use different channels, from email, push notification, also in-app channels. Yeah. We have our community feed that works like Facebook back in the days, where we just have a feed with messages that we can share with users. Right. The AI part is like, there are two views on that. So first, the whole training experience is powered by AI, so that the coach knows, okay, the user can do 50 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and with the left arm, the dumbbell is 2 kilograms like less than with the right arm. So I have to adjust that session completely new to make the whole journey
It's a personal trainer.
It's a personal trainer, exactly.
Okay.
And the second part that we have is that we implemented like large language models to also help with the nutrition part, because what's very important when you want to grow muscles is your nutrition. So we have a chat function where you can say, okay, I did a high intense workout today. It took 30 minutes. I'm completely done. I cannot move my arms. What can I eat right now that supports that? And then the app tells you, hey, you need maybe something that is high in protein for the next 30 minutes. You need a lot of water because you sweat like crazy.
Got it.
And tomorrow, just do resting, do some stretching, give your muscles time to recover, and come back on Wednesday, because this is the next day where your body is ready for the next session. And this is all personalized so that if you want to lose weight, if you want to become stronger, or if you're just starting, the app after 3 sessions is perfectly personalized for your needs and what level you are.
Which proves again, when you have a good product, you have a good solid foundation on which to build. And it's supposed to be the case that what you're learning about the user experience in CRM, that's really valuable data. That should be going back in to enhance the product, maybe inform new features, inform the communications, inform the UA. I mean, it's supposed to do this. And you are at the center of that. Even if you're only, quote unquote, senior CRM manager, you're still where the power is. The power is in the customer data. And this is your data. You own it. So how is that finding its way through the company? Or is Freeletics saying to itself, you know what? We know a lot about our customers, our users. We know about the community. If we build on all of this, we have not just higher LTV, but a better product as well, and one that will be there for the longer term. How's that look there?
I think the USP that we have is that the product is able to adjust based
so
on
the AI.
Exactly. So it adjusts and learns, and things like, okay, the user is now probably sick for 2 weeks, so cannot do and should not do any hard sports. But he will come back 2 weeks later. So how can I adjust the whole journey to make him come back easier and continue to do? And this is a little bit different to also other apps I worked for, where you're out of the game for 2 weeks and you come back and you don't remember anymore all the features, all the function, what is going on in the app, and you're just lost on your own to find your way through it again. And this is the point where a lot of people just drop off. But we, for example, see that when you stop training because you're maybe on vacation or something, we can keep that up, that we say, hey, are you maybe on vacation? So you don't have your dumbbells. We have a stretch workout for you that you can do in 10 minutes at the beach, just to
and I'm
keep
telling
your muscle.
It that, or did it figure out where I am? Or do I say, hey, I'm going on vacation next week?
No, you can adjust it, you can say it, or after a few days of non-training, we just ask, hey,
where are you?
Where are you? Like, just answer that question, that we know how the product can adapt to your needs.
Because fitness is a process. You can't just stop. You'll lose everything you invested in it. But people do drop out of an app. It happens. What do you do in that case? What is like the CRM instant reaction to that, to say, you know, we have to get them back? When do you notice that, or what do you do, or is it as individualized as the app itself because of all the AI?
No, it's not completely automated. But what we see is we have different training journeys where we, for example, say, okay, you start a journey where you want to grow upper body muscles with dumbbells, for example. And if we see, okay, this 40 sessions, the user got stuck at session 30. We do some tests and see, like, okay, the user stopped because maybe it gets boring. Maybe it's a routine, but it's not variation enough. So we try to avoid that users are churning and saying, hey, you did a great job with 30 sessions of dumbbells, but what about changing to body weight to now get your muscles becoming also more impulsive and more fit, or maybe look good for the summer or stuff like that. So we try to switch between journeys to find the right journey for the user at this specific moment. Because the good thing is, you didn't lost something that you invested, because your body has it all. So you can switch from feature to journey, whatever. Your muscles and your body and your health and your fitness got everything that you invested. Nothing is lost when you stop using the app. But we also see a lot of users that use Freeletics as enter the fitness scene because they are scared going to the gym.
Okay.
Women going to the gym, it's not the easiest decision as a woman to go to the gym for the first time.
Yep.
A lot of males the same. So users also use Freeletics.
Everyone's already so fit at the gym.
Exactly. So people use Freeletics to prepare themselves entering the gym as advanced. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And you're on a panel, and you've spoken multiple times. I've seen you out there, Robert. What is it that you're the most excited about when you come to the panel? It's like, I hope they ask me that one because have I got something to share and I'm excited about?
I think at first I really enjoy to see how different CRM managers see their users and the need of their product. Because as I said, the user come from a different reason. Some apps are fun, some are pain, some you just need.
Right.
And what is super interesting is that we talk for years about innovations. What is the next big thing next year? What is the big thing this year? But to be very honest, since I started working 2019 in the app industry, not so much have changed. So we are talking more than we are executing. We're figuring out, we're experimenting a lot. So I think events and exchanging specific examples and failures and successes is the only thing where CRM managers these time can learn things that are not connected to their product. Because a lot of things we cannot test. A lot of things a language learning app cannot test. And it's just interesting to see how the whole industry is looking at problems and need solvings.
What is the excitement out there? Because, for example, you talk about language apps and you know, they've done it through gamification and being a little bit needy, like, you know, your community is waiting for you. It works for them. What are some new techniques or approaches where you're like, yeah, you know, I could see that, or I could see that at least in the case of keeping users longer? I mean, gamification is one, and we use that term so loosely, but it's like making it. I remember doing some research about retention with Google a while back, and one of the things was they learned and said, don't make it easy. Really do not make it easy. People are like, oh yeah, you know, everything needs to be personalized and friction-free and, you know, make it no friction. It's like, no, friction. Introduce friction, because if you have a feeling you had to earn it, you're going to value it when you get it. And you have to have that feeling of like, I'm committed here. So that was interesting. It was like, okay, introduce more friction. Don't take it away. What are you hearing? What are you excited about sharing?
It's a very interesting point that you mentioned. I would agree for a lot of products. I think the coolest thing I just heard last year from John. John works for Share the Meal, and they where you donate money to fight hunger in the world. And the cool thing is that he sent a video to a user of showing what is done with your donation. So just, hey, you spent €5 and now we are here and you see we give this food to these people, so thanks for that. And that was a pretty smart thing, because I think video content is something that we are all not ready for in the app industry. There are a few social media apps, but most of the apps in the App Store, there is written content, a lot of pictures, a lot of product design motions. But videos where people are talking to us or with subtitles, it's something very rare. And I think this would work.
Could work in your community really well too.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, why not just, instead of like a clap, why not just say, hey, you know, just a couple seconds. And then we hear so much, I mean, the research is out there. We're also in a state of isolation. So if we had the feeling that we have a real community, not just the folks who are like thumbs up, because thumbs up's easy. Real engagement is hard. Real engagement matters. You talked about how it's exciting to be on a panel or an event like a promotion summit, because you get to connect with your tribe, right? Other CRM managers, hear about their successes, their mistakes. What's one that you can share, or where you're saying to yourself, oh, I learned something at APS that I can avoid that mistake? So one you've made or one you've been really happy you can avoid.
I was very inspired from the last talk I just saw from, I think her name was Leah. But Leah shared something where she said, it's very important that you understand your users. And I would say each CRM manager knows that. So each CRM manager tries to be a customer, get all the problems, get all the needs. But what she said was cool. She just said, take 1 hour each week and talk to at least 3 people that purchased your product in the day they purchased. And just ask them, why did they bought that? without having an onboarding funnel or a button to click. Just have a real honest conversation with them saying, what was the reason? Why did you pay the price? What do you expect? And when you know this, you are closer to your community, closer to your user group, and you can make decisions that are way more tailored to the different cohorts.
Okay.
And that was it sounds easy, but it's very inspiring because I think 99% of us are not doing this in that deepness.
That actually makes me think, because I've been to all the APS events, right? Well, nearly all. And you pick up these great nuggets. And that comes to one that I remember, Mindful Mamas it was, perhaps. And it was, people hire you for a job. When they download your app, it's like they're hiring you for a job. And so you need to check out and check back and say, well, what did you want me to do for you? So yeah, you can do that through push, you can do that through all sorts of things, but actually connecting with them, even if it's just like a little chat bot thing where you're just like, hey, why did you download the app? Makes total sense, because it'll give you that perspective and you'll understand the job that people want to hire you for. It's not obvious when I download your app, what do I want to use it for?
Exactly, and what you're mentioning is most of the time we ask, what are you here for? And we give a choice of 10 things. But why do we not let the user answer on its own? Because it's hard to analyze. We have to analyze the free text or a voice message. Yeah. But when you give users the chance to answer, they will just tell you. And they will tell you all the reasons, all the pain, everything they went for this.
That's interesting, because that's like at the core of understanding human behavior is, yes, you can intuit it. You can deduct it. Oh, the signals told me this and that and the other. But I remember one time ages ago when people were talking about recommendation engines and how we're going to get personalized search. And the guy was like, ask them. Most of the time they'll tell you. And then you have the answer. Okay, maybe not in politics because we'll answer something different. I won't go there. But usually it will work, just asking. So I need to ask you, we're going into the new year, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be challenging. You're a subscription app. There are a lot of people who are saying, well, I've got this, and this on my list where I may cut down. And, it's going to be one of those big decision years. So how are you looking at that, and what are you doing to say, okay, we are going to focus on the valuable users, maybe even retargeting the valuable users that might have slipped through and dropped out? What is going to be the priority in 2025 to make certain that you're delivering value to your valuable users and getting paid?
I think the important thing is that when every year starts, users want to go or have their goals,
right? You've got a big time coming.
So
I'll probably download it myself, come to think.
It's a very important time at the beginning of the year because people
want to be different. Yes,
exactly. You just want to have your New Year's resolution, so that's completely fine. I think what we have to watch out is that how fast the way people use their attention and for what things people spend their attention is changing. Sure. We see social media, the whole ad industry is completely under pressure and it's changing week by week. And I think subscription apps, especially CRM teams, have to be faster in adapting to that. So there is a chance that the attention that is working right now is in 1 month not working that good anymore.
Exactly.
And I think we are used to testing something, setting something up, and when it's working, we just let it run. And I think this is something the industry will have struggled with for the next years, to find a flexible way updating very complex automations and communication setups.
Your New Year's resolution, maybe you can share what that's going to be as a CRM. Well, even as a person. I mean, you're more than a title, you're a person. What is that to be a better version of yourself as a CRM manager?
That's a very interesting question. That I think as a CRM manager, since this AI topic came up, we are talking a lot about this, and everyone has the feeling that he or she has to prove that AI is something in their life already, to be not the one that says, oh, I'm not using it, I'm the only one.
Don't know about it.
So I think a lot of people don't feel comfortable saying, I'm not using it.
Yeah.
And I think I use a lot of tools and a lot of things to support my work, but I haven't found perfect ways to replace or optimize a lot of things that could be possible if I would have the time to invest, seeing which AI tools could solve what need. And maybe it's a tool that I don't even know at the moment.
True.
So for next year, I think my personal goal would be have some time where I can just research tools, different solutions, talk to others that are maybe one step ahead of things, and try to make them work or use for me, and be like, optimize my working time, my effort that I put in, and so also the outcome that I create with a specific amount of time.
That's very smart. I mean, it's ironic that you need time to look for AI tools to save time, but it's true. I'm doing the same thing. I can give you a couple links after the show, actually, because there are, and people are mashing them up and mixing them up in amazing ways. It's like, oh, I've got, an AI just to find the best wine. So there you go. It can be business and pleasure. Speaking of which, it's been a pleasure speaking with you as well, Robert. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chatting with you. Hey, good luck in the new year.
Thank you.